Hey guys, so today in my in a video I wanted to actually touch up a basic of programming. So right now just creating a new program, material stainless, let's say 6, ID minimum 0, work face 1000. So units. So from previous videos, the first 3-point line and face machining, that's all milling. So this is going to be our live tooling. Today we're going to be talking about turning, at least some basics. So this is everything. It's bar out, to be more exact. And you know, for the options, so this is when you start cutting from the front of the part. This is if you're cutting in the middle of the part somewhere. This is from the front on inside. This is in the middle of inside. This is a bar face. So bar face, the tool goes from the top like this, instead of, let's say, turning linear. And this is a back turning in the middle. Okay, now go back to turning. This is a copy. Okay, and it's same thing, copy out, you know, copy in the middle, copy in, face and such. The way copy works is, for example, if your part looks like this, okay, and you do program, you know, a line, let's say a radius, or taper, whatever it is, like inside radius, this would copy. It cuts like, it copies the whole shape, and whatever, let's say if you tell her to cut 25,000 per pass, she pretty much, you know, it removes 25,000 of stock till she gets to the you know, final dimension. So this is good if you do like the part is roughed up, or you know, you do like castings and such. Turning corner, I've actually never used that option, so I cannot explain to you what actually corner is. This is a facing. So anytime you pretty much, you know, when you receive a raw stock, and if you want to face it, this is where you go to threading out, and threading face. So it's like a spiral, and threading back. So threading, let's say if you do want to chamfer, I usually put know your lead. So let's say our thread is going to be 1 inch by 8. So that means 8 leads in 8 threads per inch. So let's say 125. So if we divide 8 by 1, that's what you're gonna get, 0.125. Angle, I usually put 50, 55. Number of entrances, this is 1. And height, when you go auto, it automatically calculates the height. So we know that 125 lead will give you 80,000 depth of a thread, and then you just put in a thread. I don't have a tool, so this is a standard. So you can put her, let's say for, let's say a number 8 thread would be 16 passes. Okay, she can also do an auto and speed. For example, if you go pattern 1, it's consist depth. So you're telling her that you want her to do 2,000 cuts, and she automatically divides that 80 by 2, so that would be, let's say 80, 40, so that would be 20 passes. Or you could do auto set, and then, you know, she'll do that for you. Consistent area, and then you have standard. These, I'm not sure what this is about. I don't remember using this. Sometimes when you don't know, you can go and do question mark, and sometimes you get help is not available. So you'd have to, I don't have time right now to check, but you know, you could probably check it out and see what that is. Now what else we have? Thread T-groove, so turning groove. So we have turning groove outside, inside, face and back. Let's say go outside. So now we have patterns. So the pattern 0, it's only 1 pass. Okay, there's no finish passes. These are usually good if you do a cutoff, but the way it works, so let's say if you were trying to have your part 1 inch, your cutter is 100,000 wide, you would have to tell her to cut at 1 inch and 120,000 because she calculates the front of the cutter. Okay, if you tell her to cut at 1 inch, the front of the insert will be in the front, so the back of the insert you would actually be left with a 900,000 long part. When it comes to number one, so number one, it's actually now it's a different story, because if you tell her that you want to cut at 1 inch, this is how long your groove is going to be. For this, usually you do have a help. You can go over here and it explains to you. So see where the yellow dot is on number one, this is where she's going to cut, so you always have to compensate. On number two, you can actually do chamfers, or you can do straight. So this is where you give her the number. This is number two, so it's only if you're doing one side chamfer, for example. So same thing, it's you don't do it at the beginning of the chamfer, you do it at the beginning of the flat on the bottom. Number three is the other side. Number four, I actually like this. So this is, let's say for example, when you're cutting off the part and you do wanna chamfer. So what she does is she goes down straight, okay, then she pulls up, she turns a little bit to the right, then she does the chamfer, okay, cuts the chamfer, and then continues back and cut off the pieces. I actually love this option, and like I said, if you do tell her that you want it to cut off at 1 inch, she will cut off the 1 inch, and she automatically compensates the length of the cutoff tool that you put in a tool library. And this is the number five. It's the same thing, except it's the chamfer is the other way. So these are actually really helpful. And you said, the question number of grooves. So let's say if you do one groove, pitch is gonna be a 0. If you do have 3 grooves and they're 1 inch apart, so that would be 3 grooves, and pitch would be 1 inch. Let's say width of the groove, it will be 120,000, and how much stock you want to put in. Okay, so that's how you program the groove. Turning. Then you have a T-drill. So drills are, the whole diameter, 1 inch, and it's same thing as you have patterns. You have packing 0, which I don't use because she goes in, let's say, with a feed of, let's say, 3,000. Then she's gonna be coming out with a feed of 3,000. Then you have packing bottom. This is what I usually do. If you do auto set, the first pack is gonna be as big as your drill diameter. But let's say if you're drilling 5 inches and you have a coolant through drill, then you can tell her that first depth of cut is 5 inches, and she will cut everything in one pass. And then you do your speeds, let's say 100 feet, 3,000. And it's beginning 0, and let's say we're going 5 inches deep, and you're good to go. So this is how you drill. So what else we have? And then at the end there's a tap, and then you have options: metric, unified. So let's say we go metric, let's say go 5, automatically gives you a pitch number, and then your tap, and same thing, it's speed, you could do 30. Coolant, and it's only a starting. So let's say we're going from 0, and then we're going to 3 inches deep, and that's how you program the tap. So these are pretty straightforward. So like you see, Mazak did a really good job when it comes to designing how you program Mazak 12. You don't have to deal with the minuses on every number. Obviously, when you're going to the left, yeah, it's going to be a minus, but at least with all the numbers, sometimes you have to input. You don't have to deal with the minuses. So that'll be it for today. My break is over. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.